Welcome to This Explainer. Listen, today we're unpacking something that really cuts through the noise. What you must know before leaving your country to work and build a successful life abroad. Look, if you're dreaming of packing up your entire life and moving overseas, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to look past the fantasy, past the hype, and get straight into the hard facts of what it actually takes to be a successful expat.
Okay, let's dive into this, because our source points out a pretty harsh reality that honestly forms the foundation of everything we're about to talk about. I mean, we all see those picture-perfect social media updates, right? The incredible foreign food, the gorgeous new apartments, those flawless weekend trips, but very few people talk about the reality, the gritty, practical truths, the sacrifices, and just the sheer amount of deep preparation required behind all those glossy photos. That's exactly what we're uncovering today.
Wait, before you do these obvious things, before you pack those bags, before you book that flight, and before you completely uproot your existence to start a new life, you need to disrupt your expectations. Relocating abroad is not just, extended traveling. It's not simply grabbing a visa or signing a job offer. No, it's a profound psychological disruption and a massive change to your entire way of living.
So to help us digest this massive life change, we're breaking the source down into 6 structured pillars. 1. The reality of moving abroad. 2. Preparing for the mental shift. 3. Jobs, patience, and expectations. 4. Managing money and emotions. 5. Valuable skills, open doors. And finally, 6. Your blueprint for success.
All right, let's transition right into Pillar 1, the reality of moving abroad.
And this brilliantly illustrates a crucial point. Getting your visa approved is just the starting line, because there is a literal world of difference between visiting a country and living there. When you visit, it's a vacation, right? It's temporary excitement. But actually living abroad? That means figuring out entirely new systems, making real sacrifices, and completely adapting your day-to-day life. Vacation is fun, but living there means suddenly deciphering foreign tax documents, navigating local bureaucracy in a second language, and realizing, oh wow, I don't even know how to set up my own internet here.
Which brings us to Pillar 2, preparing for the mental shift.
Because of all those complex adjustments, getting your mind right is arguably the most critical step if you actually want to thrive overseas. When you relocate, everything, and I mean everything, changes. Your environment, your daily routine, your lifestyle, and eventually the very way you think. Now sure, when you first arrive, meeting new people and trying new foods feels incredibly exciting. It's a classic honeymoon phase, but reality soon sets in. Usually around month 3 or 4, the newness wears off, the red tape gets frustrating, and that is exactly when your mental fortitude gets tested. Deep mental prep is just as essential as packing your bags.
Moving on to Pillar 3, jobs, patience, and expectations.
There's a really common, actually quite dangerous misconception out there that once you arrive, jobs are just going to automatically fall into your lap. But finding work abroad takes time. So the crucial point is this. Many people have to start with jobs completely outside their chosen profession before they can transition into better opportunities later. Taking stepping stone jobs is not a setback. It's a completely normal part of the expat journey. This means you need to arm yourself with 2 ultimate professional survival tools: patience and adaptability. You've got to manage your expectations. Starting small does not mean you're failing. Not at all. It means you're adapting. You're building a realistic, sustainable foundation in a brand new economy, and you're positioning yourself to strike when that perfect opportunity finally opens up.
That takes us right to Pillar 4, managing money and emotions.
We're grouping these together because your finances and your feelings are the 2 heaviest hidden weights you carry. Let's talk money first. The expenses just keep coming. It's not just the flight. You've got to pay for accommodation, transportation, feeding yourself, securing all your documents, and then there are the emergency expenses that always pop up, like a sudden dental bill in a currency you barely understand. Life abroad offers great opportunities, but it comes with heavy, immediate financial responsibilities that just don't get talked about enough.
And then there is the emotional toll. Our source highlights a profound reality. Living abroad can sometimes feel lonely. Culture shock is very real. The silence of an unfamiliar room in a foreign city is real.
That vibrant excitement of exploring a new city? It's eventually going to crash into the stark reality of just missing the comfort of a home-cooked meal. You're going to miss your family. You'll miss your friends, the food you grew up eating, and the comfortable lifestyle you had back home. The source makes it crystal clear that adjusting takes time, and it is completely normal to struggle emotionally during those first few months. You have to actively build support systems, stay deeply connected with loved ones, and really force yourself to stay focused on your big-picture goals.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Pillar 5, Valuable Skills, Open Doors.
Shifting gears from those heavy emotions, this is where you take your power back. This is where your preparation directly translates into opportunity. If you want to succeed, you need to bring value to the table. Countries are aggressively looking for people in healthcare, tech, construction, logistics, engineering, and skilled trades. There's a very practical reason here. Aging populations need healthcare, and massive infrastructure booms require engineers and tradespeople. The more valuable your skills are, the better your chances. So you must never, ever stop learning.
Finally, we reach Pillar 6, your blueprint for success.
People love focusing on leaving, but the real question is what happens after you arrive? You've got to confront a checklist of questions before you ever book that ticket, starting with, what job will you actually do? Seriously, do not rely on assumptions here.
Second, where will you stay? What is your immediate living situation going to be, and does your budget actually support it?
Third, what is your long-term plan? Look past the initial excitement. How are you approaching your structured growth over the next year or the next 5 years?
And the heaviest question of all, how will you survive if things become difficult? Because honestly, they will. Relocating without a strict, adaptable plan leads directly to frustration.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it reveals the core truth of our source material. Moving abroad can change your life in the most amazing ways, but success doesn't just happen by luck. It takes deep preparation, incredible patience, real sacrifice, and arming yourself with the right information. That is the only true path to a better life overseas. So if you're planning to relocate, work abroad, or explore global opportunities, our source strongly urges you to stay informed and prepared. You can get travel updates and relocation guidance by visiting travel.org and following them on Instagram at Travelism. Remember, travel smart and travel prepared. I want to leave you with one final thought to ask yourself today. Are you just running away from your current situation, or are you actually prepared to put in the hard work to build something entirely new? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy planning.